Senior night's coming up in just a few days, and we are excited to be back here to talk a little bit about Eagle football.
Welcome to the Eagle Coaches Show on the Baptist Prep Sports Network, where we give you a behind-the-scenes look into everything Baptist Prep athletics. Now, let's get right into the show.
Welcome back to the Eagle Coaches Show. We have Coach Riley Perkins here to discuss senior night coming up for the Eagle football team. Coach Perkins, how excited are you to know we have a chance to send these seniors off with possibly a victory going into Friday night?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm so excited for this Friday, and unfortunately it will be our last one, but I think it's shaping up to be a really fun one. We've got our last game for these six guys, for these six seniors. First of all, I don't know the last time this has happened, but all six seniors that we have played 3 years of high school football. So I don't know, and here at Baptist. So I don't know when the last time that happened or if it's ever happened, but every senior we have has played 3 years of varsity football, and that's something that seems pretty rare. And I just wanted to brag on them for sticking through it in some tough times, and now they're going to help build the foundation that is the future.
Sure.
And so I want to just brag on those guys here in just a second. But, yeah, we have our senior night this week, this Friday, and we've got a chance to go out with a fun atmosphere and with a big game against Episcopal coming into our place. So we get to go out with a home game. And hopefully we can have, a performance that leaves a good taste in everybody's mouth going into the offseason, and we can get into that in just a little bit. But
Absolutely.
I just wanted to brag a little bit on these six seniors that we got. And if I had our all-time stat, our all-time record book, you would see these guys' names a lot because of what they've done for Baptist and for Baptist Prep football. But those guys are Thomas Madison, Titus Yeager, Jack Gatlin, Malachi Jones, Ryan Brent, and Nick Middlebrook. And it's a special group. It's a special group because, one, for me, this is actually the class that was seventh graders my first year here as an assistant a few years back. So this is the first crew that I've kind of seen come all the way through. And some of these guys, their bodies look different at that point. They didn't even play football. Some of them weren't even here at Baptist. So getting to know these guys and seeing them through all the years has been so fun, and seeing what it looks like when they get in a weight room and seeing how they developed and seeing just how fun it's been to follow these six guys and see them throughout the years and see their hard work pay off through some tough times and keep on keeping on. But
Yeah.
we're excited to hopefully send these guys out the right way.
Absolutely. And with those six, they're special to all of us. They've had a big impact on the school, more so than just football, and so we're thankful for them. But what do you think, what's kind of the biggest legacy you think those guys are going to leave after it's all said and done with the football program?
Yeah, I think that these guys will leave the legacy of, when you get your back's up against the wall, or when things get really hard, none of them ran away. They didn't hide. They looked it right in the face and they said, we're going to keep on going. We're going to make it through today. We're going to make it through this week. We're going to make it to, next season. We're going to whatever. Whenever their back was against the wall, they just kept fighting. And because of that, I think we all know that this game teaches sports in general, but I think this game teaches so many life lessons beyond football. And they faced a ton of adversity in their careers. They've had some really high highs and some really low lows, and they've just kept going, and they've been determined to try and get it right. And that's what I'll say this year. They've had great attitudes. They've all had great attitudes, and some of their roles have been different than others. Some have had more limited roles, and some have had very obvious and apparent roles on the field, and some have been, on the defensive side of the ball. Some have been on the offensive side of the ball. Some have been mainly special teams like Jack, who kicks for us. And just whatever we've asked them to do, they've done it with great attitudes. Mm-hmm. They've kept fighting when stuff has been, it probably would have been easier to just stop or to just say, we've done this before and didn't have a good result maybe, and so why would I keep doing this? But they haven't done that. they've kept fighting through some really hard things, and for that I am extremely grateful, and for that I am extremely impressed with who they are as football players and as young men, and that's just going to help them so much as they, grow into adulthood, and they'll be able to experience things in life, and they'll say, "Oh, I've experienced something like this, and I kept fighting. I know I'm going to make it through."
Absolutely. And we have Episcopal coming to town Friday night, 1-9, coming off a big win against Hampton. What can you tell us about Episcopal, what you've seen on film, and kind of what we can expect from them?
Yeah, so Episcopal's record is a little deceiving. They haven't had a great year to this point, but what I can say is every time you watch the film, when we've sat down and watched the film, for 4 quarters they're fighting. For 4 quarters they're scrappy, and they're good-sized kids, good-looking athletes on the field. They've got a little bit of a numbers problem, which has been some of their struggles have come from that. It's not necessarily a talent disparity as much as it is maybe just one of those years kind of, which happens at small school.
And it's hard to practice with
football,
low numbers because you're trying to figure out how do we plan for both sides
Absolutely.
and things like that.
Can't go 11 on 11 in practice, and sometimes that can hurt. But they've got good players. Coach Johnson has done a good job in his first year over there, and I think setting up for the future, they'll be really successful. But they were just a team that, they lost a game earlier in the year to a really good 3A team by 2 points. They lost a game by 6 points to Bearden, who handled us pretty well. So they're a good team. They're a really good team, and they play really hard, and they fight really hard for Coach Johnson. Like I said, Coach Johnson's doing a great job over there. And they were just kind of waiting. Like it seemed like when they got over the hump that it would really change who they were. And last week, of course, they did get over the hump, and they took care of Hampton. They beat Hampton 39-8, so they're going to come in here confident. And it adds to it being a rivalry game a little bit, which is super exciting. We expect a really fun atmosphere on both sides. It should be a packed house, and there's no better way to these are the kind of games that you play for, these rivalry games where both sides are loud and both sides are into it and make a great atmosphere. So we're super excited.
Yeah. And what do you think's what's it gonna take for us to come out with a victory this Friday night?
No, that's a great question. I think what it is for us this week is offensively we're going to have to be a little more crisp at some of the things that we've done in the past that seem like schematically they work. We just have to be able to capitalize on opportunities. And defensively, we've got to contain. That's the job of our guys on the end of the line of scrimmage, but sometimes we struggle with that a little bit, and we struggle to, at times be the one who wants to make the play instead of causing a play to be made.
Sure.
And so I think this week, one thing Coach McIntosh says, which I love, is do your 1/11th, because there's 11 guys on the field. If you do your one job, and collectively we all do our 11 jobs on every play, then we should be fine. And so that's kind of what we have to do is, we can't get beat deep. I think they're going to try to probably run the ball on us more than throw it. And so with that being said, we have to contain. The quarterback is a really athletic player, and he's super fast. And so we're going to have to contain him, keep him in the box. And then you've got, some skill guys on the edges. They have one receiver who's a pretty dynamic playmaker. So try to keep the ball out of his hands. Can't let him behind us. So it's probably pretty generic stuff that you say, but at the same time, it's the stuff that if we do our one job, whatever that on offense, on defense, on special teams, then we should, be in a good position to make it a super competitive game and hopefully come out on top.
Yeah. Cooler weather going to be here Friday night. It's been cooler this week. A lot of jackets and stuff we've been seeing out at practice. But you think that's going to have any impact come Friday night with, cramps or just physicality of the game?
No, that's a good question. I think it may actually benefit us a little bit. I was talking to somebody the other day and saying we've had like perfect weather all year. Like it hasn't been too cold for anything. It's been very comfortable every night. But this is kind of like football weather. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be in the 50s, I believe. And so we're excited to kind of have, a game with football type weather. It should be cold. People in the stands probably be bundled up. And that feels like what football in November should feel like. So we've talked to the guys about it. It's been great this week at practice because we've been able to prepare for it a little bit, and just kind of, get that in our head that it's probably going to be a little chilly, and that's how the game's supposed to be played. This is good fall weather, normally it hits like week 7, week 8, and this year it just didn't. But we get one game with it, and we're super excited, and maybe that'll make everybody a little more comfortable. And normally in the past, we've done some IVs to work on cramps and different things to try and prevent that and put our guys in the best position to succeed. And I don't think we're going to have to worry about that this week.
That sounds good. So senior festivities, senior night honoring all our seniors starts at 6:40.
6:40.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. 6:40, and then from there we'll have kickoff at 7 o'clock. And we'd appreciate if everybody could come out and support these seniors for their one last hoorah and a chance to win a big rivalry game.
Yes. To start, we've got these 6 seniors that we're honoring, and these 6 guys who deserve it for everything that they've done for the Baptist football program, and we hope that you guys will come out and show them your support as well for all that they've done, and for the foundation that they've helped lay this year, for the future of Baptist Prep football.
Thanks for watching Eagle Coaches Show.
Thanks for listening to the Baptist Prep Sports Network with coaches Riley Perkins and Cody Perrin. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. In the meantime, connect with Baptist Prep on social media @Baptist Prep or online at www.baptistprep.org. Until next time, go Eagles!